Good morning. I want to jump into 1 Corinthians 12, and we're going to look at one another that shows up in verse 25. But to get context, I'm going to begin reading in verse 21. In fact, we'll probably read 21 through 26 this morning in case you have a Bible and you want to follow along. The eye cannot say to the hand, I have no need of you, nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you. And I think the key idea here is in verse 22. On the contrary, the parts of the body that seem to be weaker are indispensable. And on those parts of the body that we think less honorable, we bestow the greater honor. And our unpresentable parts are treated with greater modesty, which our more presentable parts do not require. But God has so composed the body, giving greater honor to the part that lacked it, that there may be no division in the body, but that the members may have the same care for one another. That's our one another. That the members may have the same care for one another. Verse 26, if one member suffers, all suffer together. If one member is honored, all rejoice together. So it's this body analogy that's familiar from Romans 12 and 1 Corinthians 12 about how the body of Christ, the local church, functions in a similar way to the physical body. And we have many members, we have hands and toes and fingers and feet and other parts, and they all work and they all have different functions. And he's keen to point out that what we might think is a weaker member, we might look at a toe as a weaker member, but if you lose one of your toes, it might impact how you walk. And so it has great impact and implications for the entire body. As a result, you can't just simply isolate and say, well, that member doesn't matter as much. James talks about this idea of favoritism that the early church fell into. And it seems like they were favoring the wealthy and giving them the best seats over and sort of marginalizing the poor and not giving them the best seats. There can be a tendency to give greater care towards certain people because of status, because of gifting, because of what they bring to bear on the life of the church or their significance in the external sense. And I love, love, love how Paul is keen to say a true gospel-centered community doesn't look at those areas of perceptual or above the ground maybe kinds of contribution and assume that that's where worth lies. Instead, the gospel says no, all are of equal value, all are of equal dignity, all are of equal worth, and all have vital contribution to the life of the body. Therefore, have the same care one for another. The church is not a club for members only. The church is, as the body of Christ, a place where each person, endowed by the image of God, of equal worth and dignity, and having that doubly affirmed in the gospel that was given for all, now we treat each other with a kind of care that is equal across and is not distinguishable based upon whatever accomplishments, achievements, or status an individual has. So have the same care one for another, because we're serving one Lord and we're serving him well and we're honoring him well, and we see how he has valued each. Have the same care for one another. May the Lord bless you today.